Alright guys, Gemini back with another video, and I have a bone to pick with all of you, and I'm going to try to explain myself in a nice way because I'm a nice guy. Fucking buff as fuck too. But no, just kidding. But for reals, ever since I made that Macho Man video when I put my reaction up to the Macho Man Blu-ray and I got emotional, people have been giving me shit about being emotional watching pro wrestling DVDs and stuff. So I just thought I'd kind of just explain myself. The fact is, real men aren't afraid to express their emotions. It's true. It's true. You know, I admit that I had tears of joy last year when the Giants won the World Series. They're my favorite baseball team. I've followed this team 25 years. When Bumgarner shut down those nasty Royals, it was a big deal to me, and my emotions got the best of me. That shit just happens sometimes. You can't explain it, man. Sometimes emotions just get the best of you. It doesn't mean you're a pussy. It doesn't mean you're a wuss if you get emotional. I got emotional watching the Ultimate Warrior DVD, you know, when his daughters were shaking the ropes and trying to pay tribute to their dad. I mean, that's awesome that these kids are trying to pay tribute to their dad. And like I said, if you cry watching a wrestling DVD, that doesn't mean you're a pussy. I'm sure that if you're a horror movie fan and you meet Kane Hodder for the first time, who played Jason in part 7 through 8, 9, and 10, you know, you meet Kane Hodder, and if you got tears of joy because you're so happy to meet him, that doesn't mean you're a pussy. You know, I admit that when I met Bobby the Brain Heenan, who's an icon to me at WrestleCon in San Jose this last year, I got a little teary-eyed. Shit just happens, man. It doesn't mean you're a pussy if you cry. And I wanted to put that out there because people are giving me shit about being too emotional and stuff. I get emotionally invested when I watch Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man. You guys got to understand, these guys were heroes to me when I was a kid. I grew up with the Macho Man and the Ultimate Warrior, as many of you did. And the Macho Man DVD, when they started talking about Miss Elizabeth, I got a little misty-eyed. Doesn't mean that I'm less of a man than you. Do I need to prove I'm a real man, Sean's views? Just kidding, Sean. But, yeah, you know, I just get a little emotional. I get emotionally invested in this shit. You know, look, here's the deal. I'm not your normal wrestling fan. You know, it's not just, oh, we're going to go to the wrestling matches. I want to go to the wrestling matches early. I want to meet the wrestlers. I want to be around it. I want to be around people who are emotionally invested in wrestling. That's the kind of fan I am. I want to know who's coming, who's going, who's got a bad attitude backstage, what wrestler's porking what wrestler. I mean, I want to be inside the game. You know, and when I go to an event, it's not just show up to the third or fourth match. I'm there 2 hours before the matches start. You know, I'm emotionally invested in this. You know, my Facebook, my Twitter, my YouTube are all about pro wrestling. I'm emotionally invested in professional wrestling. So if I get a little emotional, a little misty-eyed, you know, it's not because I'm a wuss or a pussy and all that stuff. This is life for me. This is a big deal for me, a lot bigger than most people. I am a wrestling nerd. As many of you are, we're wrestling nerds. We get into it. It's what we were put on this planet to do, is mark out for professional wrestling. And people don't understand that, they fly on with another lightning bolt, daddy. When you gonna get mad, Big Jim? When you gonna get bad, Big Jim? When you gonna get even, Big Jim? SummerSlam, 1990, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Dusty Rhodes referring to Ted DiBiase just buying Sapphire. You see what I'm freaking saying? We're not normal wrestling fans. Okay? We're sick. We're psychotic over this shit. Obsess over it. It's what we do. That's why we cry. Gemini, peace.